So I didn't even know this was possible, but to self-host your own website on your own computer, that is what I just painstakingly went through. And I'm going to show you some shortcuts so you don't have to waste the hours and hours and hours that I did. But I bought this little computer, this B-Link AI mini PC. It was 300 bucks. It's incredible. Now, what it can do is basically general AI work, and I've been running it pretty heavily here. It can do pretty most of what it's saying here. It can do some voice stuff, and again, what this is me putting on the software that actually does that all. But it definitely runs Olama, which is some open source self-hosted AI that you can run, and then it will do a lot of other little things here and there. What I have specifically started out using it for is just to host my WordPress website, which it is doing flawlessly, and to be honest, is loading faster than most. I've been doing websites for 15 years. Like most places you host a website, it doesn't load this fast. So that to me is one of the first incredible things that I was blown away by is just the speed of being able to host my own website. I'm at home here. I'm right outside of Portland, Oregon, the United States. And I had to open up my router so that it did work, but it's literally all just sitting in this little computer. So this computer comes with Windows on it, and I used Docker to load Windows. Now, when I say all this, it's because I just told ChatGPT, and then I started using a bunch of other AIs like Quinn and stuff to be able to tell me all this. And then I started learning as it was doing. And Docker really was the main way in the desktop, Docker desktop on Windows, but it kept on being problematic in Windows. So, what I did is I wiped this whole computer here. I wiped it completely clean, and it's actually running Ubuntu. I think is that that's how you say it. It's running Linux basically on there. That's it. So there's no actual like GUI UI like Windows or anything like that that I can access. But that's okay because then it installed a remote capability to connect to it, and then I installed Gemini CLI onto it, which you can easily just ask all your AIs to be able to do that. And then what that did is it went in and gave me like what apps are installed on this. And then it actually fixed my stuff because I've vibe coded all this before. I spent hours and hours and hours doing all this before, and it did not work very well, and I wasted a lot of time. So far, I've been able to get a bunch of stuff actually loaded on and somewhat working. I'm still working on getting everything 100% working, but for the most part, I've got a lot of stuff working, but WordPress is the main one, and it loads incredibly fast. So the easiest way to do that is you just do what I'm saying is you get a little AI PC like this, and then you can either use Docker if you just want to use Windows, download Docker Desktop, and then I would just use the terminal and then install the terminal and use that methodology to install everything. Personally, because I went through trying to do back and forth AI automations and trying to vibe code stuff. And honestly, I kept on getting one thing loaded, like WordPress would work, and then I would try to load like a different thing, like Nextcloud, for example. Oops. Nextcloud is a thing which is like an open source AI for like my own version of Google Drive, basically. And so I would get this loaded on, and then it would stop my WordPress from working. So the vibe coding, I gave up on that. It's horrible. Now this with a Google Gemini CLI, it does really do the job very, very well. So then I got N8N working on my website. All these amazing things are all self-hosted, all on this freaking computer. It's amazing. They're all running on here. So these are probably the two biggest things I would say is 100% buy one of these little tiny computers, and then Self-host your own website immediately, no matter what you're doing. That's 100% what you should be doing because basically you're going to pay 300 bucks and have a website forever for free. You're never going to have to pay a dime for your website. And then it's a really fast, easy way to self-host N8N, which if you don't know what N8N is, it's workflow automation software. So B-Link there's a bunch of other little AI PCs. I'll probably do a whole nother AI PC video about this because I'm building on a bunch of stuff with this. I have a startup I'm working on, which is a hardware startup, specifically building out AI PCs for specific use cases, which I'll be talking more about in videos. But again, get one of these, go tell AI to put WordPress on it, put N8N on it. You have to do a couple things in the DNS of where your website is hosted. So it will walk you through it, but you're going to have, in order to get it live on your own website, you'll have to make sure that it sets it up correctly, and you'll go around in circles a couple times. But Google Gemini CLI works great. Let me know if you got any questions about getting this working, getting your own website self-hosted. It's pretty awesome. You guys should check it out. Have a great day. See you in the next video.